perfect. That's perfect.
Wait,
What is something you're most proud of and why?
well, I'm most proud of my kids and some of my grandkids.
Some.
Okay.
That's about it.
What's the most important thing you've learned from your mistakes?
That I'm going to make mistakes. Okay, I'm moving over here.
All right, what are we cooking?
We are cooking chicken fajitas.
What was something that as a kid you were super passionate about?
Oh, I think I've always been a reader. Believe it or not, I used to read the encyclopedia.
Wow. Me
My-
too.
My my mother bought some encyclopedias when I was probably about 11 or 12 years old, and I would just sit and read them. And the first word in the encyclopedia is aardvark.
Wow. What's your favorite memory with your mom?
You know, it's strange, but we did a rug one time. You know,
A rug?
how you put I don't know, you have this canvas and then you put these little yarn in there, and we made a rug, and that's a big memory. My parents divorced when I was about 10 years old, so I was pretty much raised by my mother. I mean, I saw my dad, but it wasn't the same, you know. I had lived with my mother, and she worked hard. She worked real hard. She worked for a department store. She'd never worked before, and she'd been married for 17 years when they got a divorce. And she went to work for a department store. She made $25 a week. And when she divorced my dad, we moved into a motel. And we lived in a motel. I went in the first grade living in a motel. And then we pretty much just rented all through my life. Didn't have a car, didn't have a telephone. And then as soon as I got to be 17, I wanted to get out on my own, so that's what I did. I joined the Marines, which that's what poor people do. They join the military.
Was it hard for you to see your mom like struggle, or was she, what kind of?
It was. It's a whole lot. Now I know what she went through. You know, as a kid, you're just thinking of yourself. You know, you don't understand all these problems. But she worked very hard. She rode the bus to work every day, no matter what the weather was. And another interesting story. We had one place we lived, we had these beer joints around where we lived. There weren't bars in Texas when I was growing up. Liquor was illegal. You could only have beer. And on a Sunday morning, I'd go to the parking lots of these bars because people would drop money out of their pocket.
Wow.
They did a lot. And I'd go pick up the money.
A businessman.
I was a businessman. Well, my first job was when I say when I was 11, but I might have been 12. I don't think I was 13. And it was cooking hamburgers. And I've never forgotten it. I mean, the things I learned there, I still remember very clearly.
Wow.
And then I was an usher in a movie theater. I sold typewriters door to door.
That's like copiers.
Huh?
Like copiers.
Yeah. Well, it was $5 down and $5 a month. And you collected the first $5 and you got to keep that.
Wow.
And we were in Rosenberg one time, and the police picked us up because we didn't have a permit to sell there. I mean, we're just young kids. They didn't book us or anything, but somebody had to come get us.
advice that you would give to your grandkids or great grandkids?
Go to school. But that's changing so much now. You know, for my whole lifetime, going to college was it's what I want out of them now. When I grew up, I had no dreams of college. I just, wanted to survive.
Yeah.
So, and even after I got out of the Marine Corps, I was already married. And Father Culver, he would come over and I'd read he was getting his master's degree and I'd read his thesis. And he said, you need to go to college. And I said, I'm almost 30 years old and I don't even I actually have a GED. I don't even have a high school education. And he said, no, I'll get you in. And he got me in St. Thomas.
Wow.
And
you helped your mom. You helped get a lot of people out of school. You helped mom a lot.
I got a couple of degrees under mom. Yeah. I was very good at women's studies.
Yeah. Okay, so go to school. What else?
Well, and I got married when I was in the Marine Corps, and then it was then it was a different life. And I was very fortunate. I got a good job right off. I was fortunate, but it was unfortunate because I didn't have a big urge to finish college because I was making money and had people working under me already when I was in my early 20s.
Yeah.
And so that was probably a big mistake because what life has taught me, when you're young, you can make money and you can do very well without a degree. But it's in the later years that people want that degree because they need an excuse to hire you or an excuse to not hire you.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, so what other advice to your grandkids? Go to school.
Learn to cook. Take care of your grandfather.
Get married.
Get married. I don't know how you're going to do it. Nothing about y'all. It's just a terrible world right now. I mean, everybody I know wants to get married.
I know. What are you most grateful for?
Probably my family. Starting with my wife, I was very fortunate.
What is still your favorite story or date with Nana?
Probably water skiing, which she was totally faking it.
That was like your first month dating, right?
No, we only had a month and we got married.
Because you said you went water skiing.
First one was a movie, and then she went fishing and water skiing. She didn't like
Where did
that.
you guys go fishing?
At Lake Houston.
Wow.
Because we lived on the north side. One of the things that I did with the company I started a retail chain, and I'd really like to get out and talk to people. I did not like sitting in the office. I would do anything to get out of the office. I just absolutely hated sitting in an office. So that was good. That let me get out. But when I left Capitol, I went to work for a guy that had been he was one of my customers. He'd been trying to hire me for a long time. And finally I went to work for him. And we had one of the big, I got it for him. I got one of the big discount chains as a customer. And we lost that chain. They went to somebody else, and I went to my boss. And I said, that's about 80% of our business. What are we going to do? He said, I'm not going to do anything. I'm rich. He said, you better do something. So I traveled around the country and saw what other people were doing. And we could go with freestanding stores, like Cactus and those kind of stores, or we could go in the malls. And I determined it was a lot less money and a lot riskier to go in the malls. So, but at that time, it was very difficult to get in the malls. Everybody wanted in the malls. So I finally got in a little store in Lake Jackson, a mall in Lake Jackson, and it took off. I mean, We were doing $400,000 a year in an area smaller than this. And you got to remember that was 30 years ago, over 30 years ago. So it would be $800,000 a year today. But, and then just kept building stores till we got about 23 stores, I think. And then one of the guys that I'd worked with at Capital became the president of Capital. And he called me, he said, would you like to sell your stores? He said, we want to get into the retail business. And I said, well, let me ask my boss who owns the company. And he said, yeah, just, I want cash. I don't want any stocks. So we negotiated, because Capital's owned by EMI in London, in England. And so we negotiated for a year. And literally I was talking myself out of a job, you know, but I was tired of it. I say that was around the time that Madonna came on the scene,
Wow.
and I did not like her, and I didn't like that kind of music, so that had a lot to do with it. So we were building stores. I was building all the stores, even though they were in malls. They had to be finished out. Now, I did all that. So Capital, the guy that I was dealing with at Capital, he said, would you build our stores for us? We had a store, I'm not sure where, but which one it was. But anyway, he sent me a check for $20,000, and I said, yeah, I will. And I started doing, I built 9 Wiz shoe stores, Hallmark card stores, a bunch of different stores. And then in 1980, the oil business just stopped. And Houston, it wasn't 80, it was about 85. And Houston, that was all Houston did back then, was oil. So I went from doing $700,000 a year to zero within a matter of months. So I had to file bankruptcy and then just get out and start doing something. So and one of our customers in the record business had been a guy that owned one of the big printing companies in Houston and actually in the whole nation. So he gave me a job, and I worked for him for a while. He was mean, very, very hard to work for. And so I knew I was going to have to do something. He knew I wasn't going to stay there. And so I worked for a couple of different companies, and then I started my own business.
What are you most proud of your kids for?
Oh, I think they've all done great. Their families, everything. I mean, you don't realize how bad it was for me growing up. So it's very, very good to see all my kids doing well.
Yeah.
But I put a lot of energy in it. My whole, and your grandmother too, our whole philosophy was to raise our kids right. Nothing else really mattered. I mean, that was it.
What was the biggest advice to do that for a future family?
Love them. I've told people that when their kids are in trouble. I said, you just gotta love your kids. I mean, if they know you love them, then it's like getting married. I mean, we were lucky, but if you and your wife love each other, it doesn't matter if you don't have any money or anything else. Because I had to borrow the money to buy her wedding ring, but we never really thought about money too much.
Did you ever get in a very big fight with her?
Never,
They never fought.
never.
Who's your favorite saint?
Benedict, probably. I like Saint Benedict.
Why?
Well, he was real strong, had strong faith. You know, they tried his fellow brothers around him tried to kill him. He fought the devil. I mean, he went through a lot of stuff, and I just like him. My baptismal name is Saint Francis.
Just like JC.
Yeah.
And your birthday is on the feast day of St. Francis.
Yeah.
Which now that's JC.
And now the end has come.
Wait, so Grampy, what happened when, because you didn't grow up Catholic, did you?
No.
Can you tell us how you, like what that journey was like for you? Like,
I fought it. I married a Catholic girl. We got married in a Protestant church, and the guy that married us said, "I'll marry you. There's no way it's going to last," because I was going overseas at the time. We'd only been dating for a month. I mean, I can't blame anybody for saying that, but it worked out pretty good. But I don't know. I got baptized probably a year after I got back from overseas, and then in California, and then we were pretty faithful from then on.
What led you to get baptized?
Huh?
What led you to get baptized?
Well, I saw my wife going to church constantly, and I knew that she had something going on. She was a great example for anybody.
What's your favorite thing about the church?
My favorite what?
Thing about the church.
The favorite thing's got to be the Eucharist. Everything else has flaws, you know.
was it hard for you to like believe in the Eucharist, like, or?
It wasn't hard because I thought I understood it, but it's taken me years to understand it. And I find that that's the way it is with most Catholics. I taught RCIA for 25 years, and I think I'll bet 75% of the Catholics didn't really know what they were doing, you know, as far as the Eucharist.